Hello everybody. I know you guys been waiting for a collection video of 2023, but my fire alarm collection has grown a lot, as you could see. So, and I know my cat is in the way, and you could see that all my fire alarm notification appliances is laid out. And I'm hoping that I won't make this video for pretty long, and I'm not going to go through every model because pretty much everybody knows these models by now, but I will go through a couple of them to make sure everything else is correct. So anyways, let's get started. As you can see, I have a lot of stuff. My collection has grown and it's fairly large, and I'm just trying to get this whole thing up close so you guys can see what devices that I have. A couple of them are new, a lot of them are old, and I just wanted to make that perfectly clear with you guys. So that's basically my whole collection here, and I'm just gonna start by, I'm not gonna go through every single model, otherwise the video will be pretty long, but I will go through a couple of models, except this one's upside down. It's supposed to be like this. There we go. Alright, so let's get started. So first up, we have my System Sensor Spectre Alert Classics horn strobes. That one is 1575 candela, 12 volts. That one's 110, the second one. And this one is 75 candela. This one is multi-candela. My P1224MC horn strobe. And my S1224MC horn strobe, which is multi-candela as well. Up next, we have my System Sensor Spectre Alert Classic with the 115 candela strobe. To the right of that, we have my System Sensor Spectre Alert Classic ceiling remote strobe, which is 115 as well. 115 candela, rather. And excuse me, that was my cell phone. It was a telemarketer. So, up next we have my P1224 MCW horn strobe, Spectre Alert Classic in white. Up next we have my System Sensor Spectre Alert Classic ceiling mount in white as well. And the strobe is 1575 candela. And this is one of my newbies right here. This is my System Sensor vibratory bell. That is my 24 volt DC bell that I have, so that's the only bell that I have in my collection that will work on my panel. And for the heck of it, I'm going to give you guys the model number if you guys want one of these. The model is, let me zoom out a little, SSM24-6 Bell. And up next we have my System Sensor Mass Non-80A strobe. Everybody knows that model by now. And up next, we're going to be going on to some of the newer stuff in the System Sensor line. We have my 3 System Sensor Spectre Alert Advances P2R horn strobes. We have my System Sensor Spectre Alert Advance SR strobe, and the camera lost the focus. There it is. And up next, we have my 2 System Sensor Spectre Alert Advance P2Ws horn strobes. And everybody knows this alarm by now because it's very common and it's seen in buildings a lot, and This is my system sensor Spectre Alert Advanced ceiling mount. To the right of that, we have the same thing, except it's a strobe only. Over to the right, even more, we have my system sensor Spectre Alert Advanced SCR remote strobe that mounts on the ceiling. All of my Spectre Alert Advances are multi-candela. Yeah, and basically with all of my Spectre Alerts up here, most of them are fixed candela. And besides, most of my Spectre Alert Classics are the older generation with the fixed candela strobe. But 3 of them are newer, the newer generation with the multi-candela strobe. Okay, moving on. We have my system sensor Mass 80A sounder strobe. We have this is a very rare device, but I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the model number. This is my system sensor Spectre Alert Classic multi-tone chime strobe, which is CH241575. And we have my system sensor 980A strobe, which is in the Mass. And we have my system sensor Mass 12M. Sounder only. Okay, moving on. And most of you know where my blue Spectre Alert Advance is. I know some people say it looks sick, but it's actually a pretty cool device to have in my collection. This is a Spectre Alert Advance with a blue lens, and this one is a Spectre Alert Advance, but this one is actually 4-wire, but it has no fire lettering on it. So these two are meant to be general signaling devices. And right here we have my older Edwards Integrity horn strobe. We have, because this is the EST 75777A-HS, which is the older Edwards Integrity, and it has no code 3 on it. It only does continuous. This one, on the other hand, though, does code 3 and continuous. This one is my Edwards Integrity EST 757A-T. I may get the model numbers wrong, and these two are rare devices. And SCR Safety, a big shout out to him. He was wondering if there is red versions of the Edwards Integrity chime strobes, which in fact there is. I'm the only one on YouTube that has the red versions of these Edwards Integrity chime strobes. So I feel quite special. Right here we have over to the left, we have my Edwards Genesis G1R HOV30 horn strobe, and to the right of that we have my G1R HOV15, which is a remote strobe. Over here we have my Edwards Genesis remote strobe, my Edwards Genesis horn strobe right here, and this one looks very similar to these, except this one is a chime strobe. If anybody wants a chime strobe, the model is G1RF-CVM. And over here we have my Edwards LED Genesis horn strobe. And we have my LED Genesis remote strobe. And right here we have my Edwards Integrity single gang remote strobe. Okay, that's about it for Edwards. So let's move on to some of the Wheelock stuff. We have my three Wheelock 7002Ts. This one's a Wheelock 7002T-12. This one was brand new in box when I first got it. This is my 7002T-24. This one is a Spectronics 7002T-24. This one's rebranded by Spectronics, and this is the one that David gave me in a huge bundle of alarms. This is quite a new device that I've tested in Fire Alarm Test 50. This is my Wheelock speaker strobe that has a weatherproof 117 candela strobe, and the model number is ET1070-WM-24. We have up next we have my Wheelock chime strobe, my CH-DF1, I believe, but I'm not going to go too detailed in the model numbers. And right here we have my Wheelock chime. If anybody wants to know this model number to this particular alarm, the model number is CH-BF1, which is in the gray version. The red version has a strobe on it, but this one does not. Right here we have my Wheelock horn strobe that's electronic. It sounds identical to a True Alert. This one sounds the same as this one, except this is a ceiling mount Wheelock horn strobe, and the strobe on it is actually pretty bright because it is 15 candela. Can't believe it. Very bright for a non-ADA strobe. So we have that right there. It's my Wheelock EH-EL1WH24WI. That's what type of alarm this is. And New England Elevators has one of those, except it doesn't have the fire alerting on it, and plus the strobe is broken. But mine works, which is okay. Mine works just fine. Up next we have my Wheelock NS horn strobe. It's a very good choice for a 2-wire alarm. And to the right of that we have my Wheelock HS multi-candela horn strobe. This one's multi-candela as well. There's the Wheelock AS, except they look identical to each other, except the AS is a higher pitch. We have my Wheelock MT horn. We have my Wheelock MT amber colored horn strobe. Has a yellow lens, amber lens rather. Wheelock MT multi-tone. And we have my Wheelock RSS remote strobe. Moving on down here to the newer Wheelock stuff, we have my 2 Wheelock Exceeder horn strobes. I had 3 of them, but I sold one in a bundle I sold it along with the Silent Night 5204 control panel that I no longer have anymore, along with 2 System Sensor i3 smoke detectors and 1 BG12 pole station. So there's that. And right here we have my Wheelock Exceeder ST strobe only remote strobe. And over here we have my Wheelock ZNS horn strobe. And over here we have my Wheelock ZRS remote strobe. Right here we have my Wheelock WMT-24 weatherproof 117 candela double gang remote strobe. It's very similar to this, except this one's a horn strobe, but this one's a remote strobe. Right here we have my Faraday horn strobe 6120-5512. The strobe has a different model number. This is a rare device. This one's even more rare with the round cornered devices. Well, I forgot to flip this one. It's upside down. We have my Natural Time horn strobe, which is a rebranded Faraday alarm. This one is from Faraday as well, except this one's a Cerberus Pyrotronics. This one's my Cerberus Pyrotronics multi-tone horn strobe without the magnifier on the front, which is a very cool device. except it's lower pitched. Right here, these two alarms do look the same as each other, except the only difference is, and my cat's in the way again. And also we have these two alarms look the same as each other, except they are a little bit different. This one on one hand on the left is my Siemens U MMT multi-tone horn strobe right here, and this one on the other hand on the right is my Siemens U MHU which is a single tone horn strobe, and it's not multi-tone, and it can do continuous or code 3. That one can too, except this one has a multi-tone feature, but this one does not. So that's the difference between the two. And I was very lucky to find these on eBay when they popped up, because these things are starting to become a little bit rare. So I'm very lucky to get a hold of these when they popped up. And right here we have my rare Wheelock strobe plate. Well, for the heck of it, I'm going to give you guys the full model number for it. Let me get it around here. The model number is WSPW-24. And right here we have my yellow colored strobe on a retrofit strobe plate. So those are my two retrofit strobe plates right there. Excuse me, had a burp. Moving on. Up next we're going on to the Gentex equipment. I know this alarm's not Gentex, but going on to the Gentex equipment. Okay. Right here we have my Gentex Commander 2 horn strobe, and it can only do the electromechanical and the tone, no chime or slow whoop. We have my Harrington Signal rebranded Gentex Commander 3. We have my two regular Gentex Commander 3 multi-tone horn strobes. These three alarms are multi-tone. They can all do the slow whoop and the chime. And this one right here is my Gentex Commander 3 remote strobe, multi-candela. These are all multi-candela except for this one. And this one is the latest Gentex Commander. This one is my ceiling mount Gentex Commander 4 GCC24CR. And this one doesn't do the slow whoop or the chime either. It only has two tones. The electromechanical horn tone and the electronic tone, which is the 2400 Hertz. And this is my Potter. This is my funky alarm that you probably guys never see too much around here, because these things are basically used on sprinkler systems, and it's kind of a rare device. This is a multi-tone Potter SH1224. If you guys want one, look for one. And on to the old Gentex stuff. We have my Gentex SHG, which is the first generation. And it's not the second version that sounds like a Gentex Commander 3. This is an old Gentex SHG. Right here we have my Gentex GOS that I got a long time ago, 4 years ago. My GOS 241575 CW, that's right, it's an alarm that mounts on the ceiling. And right here we have this alarm right here that I got, which is becoming more rare. This is my Gentex GOS. 243075WR, which is a wall mount version, and my brother Joseph gave this to me for Christmas this year, which is very, very kind of him. A big thank you. And we have my Gentex GXS strobe, which is a remote strobe version of these, pretty much. The horn design between these two white devices look the same, except this one is smaller horn grill, and this one has a bigger horn grill. Same with this. These are two of my Gentex GOSs, and I was very lucky to find these when they popped up. But these Gentex GOSs, this one was on the internet, I just couldn't pass it up. And down here, onto the last row of devices, and I know you may think some of the devices are new. We have my Simplex 4903-9219 15 candela horn strobe, and it's a mechanical horn. We have my 4904-9137 remote strobe, and most people know that they don't number these very well. And right next to that, we have my Simplex True Alert, and both of these are 4-wire True Alerts. And if people are having trouble finding a True Alert right now, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys the model number of both of these. This is my Simplex 4903-9425 4-wire 15 candela horn strobe, and right here we have my Simplex 4903-9426 with a 75 candela strobe. And what's great about these 4-wire True Alerts, they have a dip switch in the inside that allows the strobes to run as free run or smart sync. So that's a very nice feature to have on a True Alert. So if you're ever looking for a True Alert, guys, my suggestion is stick with these models. And this one is a very old device, and it's discontinued and it's not being made anymore, and these were seen it a lot in my elementary school. This is my Simplex 2901-9838 horn on a 4903-9101 vertical strobe plate. So this is a Simplex horn strobe combo. It's a very loud alarm from Simplex in the mechanical horns. And last but not least, actually no, not really last but not least, we have my Tornado Siren, which is 110 volts AC, which my dad gave to me when I first started collecting these things back in 2016. And I know I have not made a video on this at all, but pretty soon I will, guys, if I feel like making the video, but I will soon. I just want to figure out the appropriate day to do it because this thing is super loud. Okay. But on the last two devices that are not in this pile right now on this row is the last two devices that are not in the collection right now is my system sensor Spectre Alert Classic in white remote strobe on the ceiling, and the very last device that's on my system right now is my System Sensor L series in white, which is the system sensor alarm that came out in 2017. So that's basically all it is. Well, that was the whole video of my entire fire alarm collection of 2023, and a couple of like 3 or 4 devices that are new, and I want to continue making fire alarm videos as soon as possible, and a big shout out to the people that I've watched, the MSJ 191961, SCR Safety, the SDX, and also JJ Inc 24, and also Safety Security Alert that doesn't make fire alarm videos anymore, which is kind of sad. But most people think that they want to get rid of their collection, but that's not the case with me. I'm still keeping all this stuff for years to come. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I can't believe I came this far of 7 years of collecting these things, and my collection has grown so large it's not even funny. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Now I'm gonna put all this stuff away back on my shelf where it belongs, and then I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for all the support that you guys have been giving me on this YouTube, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Thank you.